So here is a game between Garry Kasparov and Viktor Korchnoi from 1986, when Garry was already world champion. He was the brightest talent to win the world championship for many, many years. And here he was playing against the experienced Viktor Korchnoi, who is one of the legends of chess, because even till very recently was playing right at the very top, at the top level. And we're talking about a man who has played just about everybody from the 50s right the way to the present day. He's maintained an incredible level. I have actually had the honour of playing Viktor Korchnoi myself in a classical game. Not quite the result I was hoping for, and despite being slightly more frail, he managed to last many hours and grind me down. So I know just how much of an amazing player Viktor Korchnoi is. And here, playing black against Garry Kasparov, we join the game on move 31 with Viktor Korchnoi to play. And the reason why I've included this game is because it isn't one of Garry's greatest attacking displays, but just goes to show how original and creative he can be, even when things aren't going his way. And that really is the sign of a true champion. The fact that somebody can, even when most players would fold, find some resource to save the game. Because if we look at the position as it is, white is a whole rook down. It's that simple. He is missing a rook. What he does have, however, is not only these four pieces, but these pawns threatening the black king. At the moment, the f7 square is well guarded, which would, of course, be Kasparov's preferred move. So, by looking at this position, you would have to say that black should have some way to convert his material advantage. And the situation, the live situation of the game, was that both players were already in deep time trouble. And Garry had to find something to pull out of the hat. Well, it was Viktor to move here, and he played the move rook a2, which is, even though it might not be the best move in the position, certainly doesn't throw away the victory. Black is threatening, rook takes f2 check. And it's here where, of course, any move, any passive move, any waiting move isn't going to work. So Kasparov had to find something. And he found the most incredible, ingenious idea, not because it saves the game objectively, but because it caused such a confusion, such a doubt in the opponent's mind, that it ended up paying off. And the move he played was rook to e7. Now, when I first saw this move, I was absolutely gobsmacked that it could work. White is giving up another rook. It's as simple as that. He's sacrificing his second rook of the game. And what's the point of the move? Well, the point of the move is to be able to, once black takes the rook, play with f6 and unleash an attack on h7 and an attack on the rook. Now, you can imagine Korchnoi, despite being through some of the toughest battles chess has ever seen, even he would have been thrown by such a move. And so after rook e7, Korchnoi took the pawn on f2 with check first. Okay, that's going to transpose, because after king g3, then he took the rook on e7. Now, some commentators have given this as a question mark or a mistake. I think that's completely incorrect. After all, it doesn't throw away the win, and black just needs to find a couple of accurate moves. But maybe it was awarded such a an evaluation because it allowed Kasparov to muddy the waters. And when both players are in such time trouble, perhaps there was another way to finish off the game easier. In fact, a few wins have been found, but the move Rook F1 instead is nice. The point being that after F6, Kasparov's main idea, well, you can check on G1, and if the king comes up the board, then actually we see a beautiful little checkmate, like so. So that would have been nice, but there are many ways for black to win anyway. Rook takes e7 still does the job, but after f6 we reach this critical moment in the game. So what to do? Well, white is threatening to take on h7, so knight g6 was played, and now Kasparov's idea, he played knight takes e7. And here Korchnoi played king f8. The question is, what would have happened after knight takes e7? Because, okay, we take on h7, we check, the king moves, we play queen h8, check, and the knight can block. And the big question is, did Kasparov overlook something here? Or can you all see a way for white to finish off the game? Imagine you've only got a few minutes left yourself. So have a look at the position, try and work out exactly how the game should have proceeded in this particular variation. Well, if you saw it, well done to you. It's often very important when you are delivering such an attack to work out the concrete forcing moves first. And in fact, after knight g8, this leads to forced checkmate for white. No doubt Kasparov will have seen this. After queen takes g7 check, king e8, queen takes knight check, king d7, and now queen takes f7 check. The point being the king has only got one square to go to, and queen takes b7 is a nice little finish. So well done for all of you who got that. Instead though, Korchnoi played king f8, and here Kasparov took on h7. The position is still winning for black. He just had to find one move here. It's a difficult kind of move to find because there is one move that would certainly scare most people. And here Korchnoi just collapsed and played a horrendous move. He played bishop takes f6. He wants to get rid of the pawn. That's obvious. White is threatening all sorts on g7. But by playing bishop takes f6, of course, this leaves the f2 rook on prise. And in the game, we see that Korchnoi doesn't manage to convert, despite being presented another opportunity, ironically enough. Instead, though, g takes f6 would have won the game. It's a difficult move to see, though, because it feels unnatural to open up the 7th rank and ignore the threat on g6. After all, white has 3 pieces attacking g6. And after a move like knight takes g6, f takes g6, bishop d5, if you see this position with black with only a few seconds left, suddenly you've got this checkmate and this checkmate to worry about, and you have to find the only move here, which is the move queen e8. And that's not an easy move to find because it's not such a natural move. And okay, here there is no checkmate. f6 is guarded. The king can wriggle away to d8, and the game is over. White's king is too open. Black's just going to move down and deliver checkmate himself. So g takes f6 was winning, but bishop takes f6 nearly throws it away, because after knight takes g6, f takes g6, well, here Kasparov, in time trouble himself, made another mistake. He should have played the move queen h8 check. And after an exchange of queens, let's say king e7, takes, and now king takes rook, an ending like this is bound to be drawn because of the opposite colour bishops. So Kasparov actually erred here, because after king takes f2, well, This allowed queen b6 check, so the queen could come off the back rank with check. King g2 check, king h3, and now Korchnoi makes another terrible blunder. He misses what is a move that gives him fantastic chances to win the game. The question is, can you see the move Korchnoi should have played in this position? Well, if you saw it, congratulations. Bishop e5 is absolutely crushing, because suddenly there is no decent way for white to stop queen takes h2 check. And according to any computer you might put this on, black has got a winning position. So incredibly, on the 40th move, which I imagine was the time control, Korchnoi blundered once again. He played bishop takes g5. And after queen takes g6, I think what probably happened was that they've reached the time control. Korchnoi has just realised that bishop e5 was probably winning, and in a state of embarrassment and shame, played queen f6 and offered a draw. And even without queen f6, he's got some chances if he keeps the queens on, but he was probably just so disgusted with himself not winning the position, played queen f6, and a draw was shortly agreed. And it's amazing because he said after the game in one of his own annotations that he felt this game was shameful for both players. But what was most intriguing was how that after this game, Korchnoi lost to Kasparov 7 games in a row. So this inflicted huge psychological damage on Korchnoi, and the resourcefulness of Kasparov was something that made him worried for his future encounters with him. That instilled some fear into him. And I think this game, despite the numerous mistakes, was well worth showing, because just look at how Kasparov doesn't give up, at how even when there's some sort of play, attacking chances, despite being totally lost, he managed to conjure something up. And this game for me acts as inspiration, personal inspiration, because I think we should all learn that lesson, that if they try until the position is so totally hopeless that it's futile, I would recommend that you try and find that something that can confuse your opponent, worry him, because even though it doesn't work most of the time, on the odd occasion, as you can see, even against such a great player like Korchnoi, it can. And I think we'll be saving a lot of points if we do something like that.